To the ethicists, theologians, apologists, priests, and leaders in the church, to anyone saying it's okay to use a COVID-19 vaccine developed using fetal cell lines. On behalf of the moms who had to sit in doctors' offices for the last 3 decades with babies on our knee and who experienced what the Pontifical Academy for Life called the moral coercion of conscience, to either accept a vaccine grown in the cell lines derived from the remains of aborted children, or to put our own children and communities at risk of disease. I'm saying this to you. Stop announcing that it's okay to accept a vaccine tied to abortion before the vaccine is even available. When you do that, you undermine the fight for ethical medicines. We all may as well give up on demanding ethical alternatives. Why would the pharmaceutical industry ever move away from the use of aborted children in research if leaders in the Catholic Church are making it known that we don't really care if they do or not? You don't speak for me. I know what the Pontifical Academy for Life said. I've navigated those instructions for the last 15 years. Personally, I judge this to be an injustice for those of us who did what the church asked us to do. We became open to life. We welcomed the gift of children. And not only did we have a heartbreaking choice to make when it came to childhood vaccines for our babies, we were obedient to the church and protested and spoke up as much as we could. We did what the Pontifical Academy for Life said we should do. We accepted the remote, licit cooperation in evil for the sake of our children's and community's safety. But we also protested this practice to our doctors. We demanded ethical alternatives whenever we could. And as many of us know, our voices often fell flat on the doctor's office floor. Why? Because in the end, we accepted the vaccine anyway. There was no real pressure from the greater Catholic community for the pharmaceutical industry to change. And now, so many scholarly and priestly leaders who never sat in a doctor's office with a baby on the knee are shrinking from demanding ethical alternatives when our united voices could actually make a difference. The COVID-19 vaccine is in development. We are not even to the point yet of having to decide whether to accept the vaccine or not, but you're saying we should. You're saying we shouldn't worry because the fetal cell lines are only used in research and development, but not production. What you are missing is that R&D do not end when production begins. These new vaccines are going to be scaled up to protect an entire globe, and they are going to still be in the R&D phase for years to come. Your passive acceptance of these practices is sending one big message that no, it really doesn't matter after all. Just keep using aborted children for research and we'll make excuses. Not on my clock. Before the COVID-19 vaccine goes to market, we are asking you to listen to us. Stop saying, oh, we'll accept the vaccine because the Vatican allows it. And spend more time right now while there's still a chance to influence how the long-term production and testing are going to be done. Spend more time defending the dignity of human life without excuse and without compromise. Because if in a year's time we are all forced to accept this vaccine, I want to know that when I could, I demanded better choices. It's baffling that I'm trying to be heard over the voices of priests, apologists, and bioethicists. Look, it might be hard for the industry to change away from the use of fetal cell lines in the production of vaccines and other medicines, but the human race is created to innovate. If we can put men on the moon and smartphones in all our hands, then surely the best and brightest in science can figure out how to make medicines that do not depend on the remains of aborted children. Be open to life with us. Defend the dignity of all our children now and in the future. Help us build a better civilization for our children. Thanks in advance from this Catholic mom.